Hope you're doing good. Micah back with another video. Back here to talk about the Samsung Galaxy A36 1 month later, the official review. As you guys know, I typically do reviews on a weekly basis, maybe even a few days after having the device, 24 hours. And the month really solidifies that experience, the overall experience that should be expected with the device after having it consecutively for over 4 weeks. And so that's why I like using the 1 month as the official review, followed by, of course, subsequent reviews if I still have the device. In the case for the Galaxy A36, however, I will not be keeping this device, and this video will explain why. As you see by the title, I called it inconsistent at best, and that is the perfect description for the Samsung Galaxy A36, and we're going to get into those reasons why in this video. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, the notification bell, so all free. That way you know my videos, so you and I can sit back, check, see what's cracking. Now let's get into the video, and the first thing that I do want to give it credit for is the hardware. Upon holding the device, upon feeling the device in hand, holding it, you would never have thought this was a budget slash mid-range device. You would have never thought that this device only cost $400. Samsung knows how to do hardware like no other, and at that $400 price point for the Galaxy A36, you get Gorilla Glass Victus on the back, or Victus Plus, I believe, on the back, which is very solid glass. I think it's on the back and the front. You get a polycarbonate or basically plastic frame, but the way they iodize the coloring and the feel of the material, it feels like it's aluminum, but it's not, or metal, if you will, because the weight of the device is a little heavier than you would think, which makes it feel substantial in the hand. That's what makes it feel like more than just a budget phone. And you still get 3 cameras on the back, which is also nice, given that usually when it comes to might as well call it that, right? Budget slash mid-range devices, they try to skimp out on certain aspects like the camera, like the build materials, but Samsung did not do that in this case. You get a in-screen or under-screen fingerprint sensor, which works very well. You get 3 cameras on the back. You get One UI 7, all in this beautiful body. So just from a hardware perspective point alone, Samsung has stepped their game up and maintains that quality across their fleet of devices, and look no other with the A36 having very, very, very clean and beautiful software or hardware. Woo, hardware. Now, software is where this finds the inconsistencies. You would think with such beautiful hardware that maintains its look and feel despite an occasional slip out of the pocket here and there, you would think software would then also follow suit. That is not the case with the Galaxy A36. The Galaxy A36 is inconsistent at best, and that is because the software is, it's not really the software in my opinion. I think it's the hardware, primarily the processor. The Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 is just not capable, because I've seen the same software, One UI, well, soon to be One UI 7, One UI 6.1, run on the Galaxy A53, which is a mid-range device, and it essentially bucks with no issues. This phone bucks all the time, right? This phone on one day could be very, very good, and if there's even slightly raised temperature or it just don't feel like wanting to work properly, it will bug out on you. It will drag, it will slow, it will lag, it will take its time, it will delay or postpone. You start trying to input a bunch of different things and the phone starts just acting and going haywire on you, all because Samsung did drop the ball with the processor. I think this probably should have had an Exynos processor in it, maybe even the 1280 that was running in the 2022's Galaxy A53. Now, experiencing that, maybe they should have put that processor in here instead, because this would have ran so much better, so much more fluently, and I would have kept the device because of the price point and the quality that you get at that price point. But when I can't use my phone properly for myself, and again, this is why this might be a personal experience, right? Anecdotal. I don't know if you've tried the A36 or not, and you've came out with similar thoughts. I have noticed in the comments that people do say that this phone is, if not under benchmarked or underclocked in comparison to even the A35, last year's A35, that is. Samsung just did not hit right with the A36. And I don't know if the same is with the A56 or not in comparison to the A55. I hear the A55 really good. I hear the A54 wasn't or it was a step back from the A53. In my opinion, I think people was concerned with the screen or the device actually shrinking in package from 6.5 to 6.4. But with the A36 in particular, this phone does not perform well in my use case, in my daily use case. And maybe I'm more of a power user than I thought. But considering that sometimes I just need to go back to the app I was just in, something as simple as that, this phone should run so much more smooth. I'm not asking it to do a lot of computational activities. I just want to swipe back and forth between two apps, and it struggles to do that. Now, the most recent update that came out that addressed Google Gemini with the Galaxy A36 did, in my opinion, address some of that lag. Some of the optimization was because of the Google Gemini being needing to be optimized. So I did notice that from that perspective. I noticed that Gmail and swiping between apps sometimes there was more consistency with the app not refreshing or shutting down completely. So I did notice that, but that's why I said inconsistent at best, because when it is inconsistent, that also then becomes consistent. Where, okay, I might go a string of days or a string of activities where I don't have no issues, but then it'll turn around and it give me a string of problems or a string of issues consistently. So it's consistently inconsistent, and that can be a problem when you need your phone to simply do banking transactions, doing some light level thumbnail making, just swiping between YouTube and Gmail, right? Like those type of simple things. I turned off the Google Discovery because maybe I thought it was a RAM issue, but it's not, because unless they're using weaker RAM modules, the Galaxy A53, which is going to be a point of comparison for this device, a 2022 device, mid-range, A53 has 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and it runs so much more smooth than a 3 year later 2025 budget slash mid-range device from the same company. Make that make sense. The math ain't mathing. So, from a software perspective, this device needs some work. And maybe all it takes is a software update to fix that. Maybe the May security patch, which still hasn't landed, by the way, could address that. Like, if we want, we can actually check on screen here, because I actually haven't checked today. I pretty much check my updates regularly, like daily. And let's see if the May security patch has come in. It has not come in yet. We're still in April, which is crazy because the Galaxy A53 has the May 1st security patch. It's crazy. Doesn't have One UI 7 yet. It's supposed to be coming in June, so maybe next week. But again, why is just Samsung dropping the ball in that way with the Galaxy A36? A phone that they should really prioritize, especially in comparison to the iPhone 16e, which may be more comparable to this. Now, granted, price point wise, maybe the A56, because they both probably coming around 500. But you want your budget phones to really do work, do damage for you guys in terms of sales. Like, you really want this phone to go out there and push numbers for you. But it can't do that if your customer is unhappy with the overall daily experience of trying to operate the device. And so, consistently inconsistent, inconsistent at best, is where I stand with the software for the Samsung Galaxy A36. Now, with that in mind, you would think then that the battery is also inconsistent, right? The battery has to be inconsistent. Unfortunately, that is not true. Fortunately, the battery life is much more consistent. The battery life is fantastic on the Galaxy A36. Something that I've experienced with this device is the fact that the battery life can be relied on. Now, I don't know if we still get those data points in here like we used to, and I have not been using the phone as much as of recently, but I charged this phone 100% 2 days ago, and I'm at 57%. So just from a standby perspective, this phone rocks very, very strong. Let's see. Now, if I, since last charge, now if I click in here, I don't think it's going to really show me anything beyond, okay, well, so if I click on the 28th, you see battery usage was 57%, 3.5 hours screen on time. Now, I don't really use screen on time as an indicator of battery life. To me, it's how long the phone lasts throughout the day. And that's going to be a big conversation when we get into the Galaxy A53 in that video. But in terms of the Galaxy A36 here, battery usage 43%, 2 hours and 12 minutes as the day before. So, like, let's say, oh, it doesn't really go that far back. It goes about a week back. So May 25th, I used 52% with 4.5 hours. So as you see, I'm using about the same amount of battery life, but my screen time varies. My screen off time varies, but I'm getting a lot of screen off time, as you see right there. It's lasting well, if not well over, very close to a day, no problems. And that's essentially before I put on the charger, which means I might be putting on a charger at 50%, right? Or 47%. I have 47% with through that use time. So it's like, again, battery life for this very, very solid, especially considering it's a 6.7-inch display, Full HD AMOLED display, that is. Battery life rocks very, very strong, and I don't really use a lot of AMOLED-based wallpaper. So I'm using wallpapers that are vibrant, that display color, that needs it to push some beautiful pickles, right? Those pixels, and it does a very good job of that. And so when you consider the hardware and the battery life, fantastic. 2 out of the 3 are rocking very hard and solid. But that third category that means the most to a lot of us is being able to use the device on a regular. This isn't even accounting for video gaming on here, right? And I don't do a lot of that, so you won't hear me talk about video gaming on my phone that much. But I can only imagine adding video games into the mix for the Samsung Galaxy A36 and how that could potentially bog down the phone even more. But I don't even want to think about that right now. Inconsistent at best is my opinion, my reviewed testing experience with the Galaxy A36. And as a result of that, I have to pass on the device. So let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about the Galaxy A36 or Samsung's approach to the budget mid-range category. Are they doing a good job? Do they need to do better? The comment section is open for discussion. But again, as always, if you guys haven't already, make sure to ignite the like button, subscribe to the channel, the notification bell. That's all free. That way you know it's my video, so you and I can sit back, check, see what's cracking. And don't forget to hit that super things button down about a like and dislike button, Cash App or PayPal, and check the channel for all the videos available to you. That's what to keep tech fresh and alive on this channel. It's man Micah signing out until the next video. Wait for it.